Today's special guest is a Sunshine Coast-based fitness entrepreneur, transformation coach and founder of the Up Yourself training brand, focusing on helping women redefine fitness through mindset, strength and self-belief. Welcome, Kelly Greenslade.
Hey, how are you?
Fantastic. How are you?
I'm great, always.
I'm going to start with, can you share your personal story, how you came about to starting your own business?
Yep.
And I'm also keen to understand the story behind the brand.
Yeah, so not Up Yourself training anymore. We threw that out the door because we went Up Yourself training and people were like, who's that? And they're like, Kelly Greenslade. And they're like, oh, I know her. So it's Kelly Greenslade now. That's it, Team KG.
Woo!
Okay, so I've always been kind of like into sport, bit fit, younger. I had kids really young, so first at 18, second at 19, so two kids under one. They're 10 and a half months apart, so Irish twins. Do not recommend. Then I had my third at 26, and between like my two younger kids, I put weight on, lost a little bit, and then put weight back on after my third. And then basically my 30s was spent hating myself. So I just was in that vicious cycle that most mums are in. Diet, try and do 1,200 calorie diets, don't eat. Whatever diet you want to throw at me, I've probably done it before. And I'm like, I lose all this weight and then I go back to eating what I was beforehand. So I'm never educated. I go back to eating what I was before and I gain the weight that I lost back plus an extra 2 or 5 kilos. And that just went on and on and on and on. And we went on a family snow trip and I think I was about 35 or 36. And we were learning how to snowboard. I'd never seen snow before in my life. So I'm like old as... And I've never seen snow before, so it's supposed to be like this amazing thing. And I'm trying to get up on this snowboard and I can't reach the bottom of the board properly. My pants kept popping undone. It was horrible. So I'm sitting on the side of this place where I imagined it to be like this amazing thing. And I'm like crying because I'm like, this is shit. Like everything's shit. I hate myself. Like I can't do this anymore. So like I said, I've always been into fitness. I've always kind of gone to the gym and stuff like that and tried to eat healthy, what I envisioned healthy looked like according to Instagram and Facebook and whatever the hell else was around at the time. And I went back from that holiday, went to the gym, and for 3 months I stalked a couple of the PTs that were on the kind of PT board there. And this time around, I've never had a PT before. So I've never done this before. And I'm like, I just really want to look at like who I'm getting involved with here. Because if I'm going to spend some money, I'm going to do this properly. So when I was looking at the PTs, I'm like, okay, what are their results from their clients? But do their clients still look like that? Because my biggest thing was I am sick of going through that like up and down cycle. And I found my coach, who's Paul Hooper. And I started training with him. And it took me a good 3 months to like get into it, kind of learn what macros were and like what are these things that people are talking about? How the hell do I balance this shit out? Like it was hard, but I persisted because I was like, again, if I'm spending some money, you know. So hubby said, 6 months, get what you can out of him, then go off and do your own thing, happy days. So this is year 7.5 with him now. So clearly the 6 months didn't eventuate to 6 months. It's now 7.5 years.
It's impressive.
I'm a very loyal person, so it's like a big thing for me. But yeah, so anyway, chugging along, I start losing weight after about 3 months. I didn't really lose anything. Like it was maybe a kilo or two here and there. I kind of started feeling better though. So I kept going and then I started to lose the weight because obviously metabolic rate needed fixing, all the things. We're not going to get into the technicalities because I could spend hours doing that. So I start losing weight and then I kind of plateau. I kind of get to that like maybe 12 months in, I'm kind of bored. And he goes to me, have you ever thought about doing a transformation show? And I'm like, no, what the hell is that? And he's like, oh, it's a bodybuilding show, but they do it at a fitness expo. So it's not a bodybuilding show, but like you just get to show your like weight loss journey and you get to inspire other people. And for me, that was like, yes, I'm in. Like if I can inspire people to do and feel the way I do now, let's do that. Like, let's do it. So 2019 in July, I stood on stage at the Fitness Expo in Brisbane with ICN Queensland, and I flaunted my shit, and I was like 61 kilos. So I just missed my goal weight of 60, but I was 61 kilos. So I'd lost like 17 kilos or something like that. It's something pretty cool. I get off the stage and I turned around to my coach and I said, I want to do a bodybuilding show. Like, let's do this. And so that's how I accidentally became a bodybuilder, because there was no intention of that to start with. And so then it just has been like that since then. So I live that lifestyle now. And so when I put weight on in my off season, it's intentional weight gain. So it's very much focused around like gaining weight for muscle mass, not body fat. And then I go and lose it all and I stand on a stage and I look good. And so I've done my last season in 2024, I went all in. So I've gone from a sports model, which is like just the crop top and their little shorts and shoes. You're too big for that. Your quads are too big, which you would have noticed when I walked up. Your quads are too big for that. You're too cut. You need to go into fitness. Okay, cool. So now I've got a bikini and heels on in my season after that, and I've got a bikini and heels on, so I did sports for fun and fitness. No, your quads are too cut. Like you just like you've got too many lines. You can't have that many striations in your quads. It's just this criteria, right? So it's like, okay, so
you've gone from being too big and too fat to now you're too
like,
cut.
Too big as in my quadriceps are too, like I have naturally big quads, and I have naturally, like when I cut, they're the first things to come in. So I just get all the lines straight away in my quads, and then they look like they're shredded. So it's like, okay, cool. And so I go into figure, which is like one of the highest muscularity divisions in female natural bodybuilding is figure. Not something I wanted to do, but here we are. So last year I went all in and I'm like, right, if I'm going to do this, let's do it. So I did a 34-week prep with a 10-week season, which is almost unheard of for a bodybuilder.
34 weeks?
Yeah, 34-week prep. I had 20 kilos to lose, so way too much weight to lose, but I did it. So I got down to 53, 54 by the time I got to Worlds. So I did 4 Australian shows, and then I went across to Boston and I competed in the world titles for WMBF, and I placed 3rd in fit body and 4th in figure.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so I went from
awesome.
like this tiny little sports model to like this like muscularity division, like being the best, like one of the best in the world at muscularity. So that's my full story.
So to put that in context, how heavy are you right now?
So I'm only 60 kilos at the moment.
Yep.
So usually I would walk, like in my off season, I sit around 65.
Yep.
Like my last off season, because we needed to get my muscle mass really high, I was started at prep at 72 kilos, which is really heavy for me, and got down to 53 for stage. So all of that kind of led me to what I do now. Yep. So when I first started doing it and I stood on that very first stage, I was like, I want everyone to feel like this. Like, I know what I felt like on that hill, and I'm a mum, and like, and as I was going through these prep journeys and dieting and then putting weight on and like being very strategic around what I was actually doing and learning about my food and my nutrition, I just like had this massive passion. So I work for a bank. I've been like work for a law firm, like all these office jobs, and they've never suited me. And my family always used to say, you can't keep a job. Like, you change your job every 2 years. I'm like, I'm fucking bored. Like, I need stimulation. I need something. And so one day I'm sitting in my office and I push my chair back and I'm just like, I can't do this anymore. And my boss, thankfully at the time, my supervisor, she's like, thank God, neither can I. And we've both kind of left that job. But I'm like, I'm gonna be a PT. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be a PT, and I'm going to do it right, and I'm going to also be a nutritionist. So I made sure that I got the proper qualifications, so I'm fully like qualified, registered, insured. And I'm like, I want women to feel the way I do. Like, I know that they feel shit. I know some of them feel shit, and I want them to feel like this. And when you're a mum, you kind of lose yourself a bit because it's all about the kids. And when I step back and kind of think about it and look at it, I'm like, who am I? Like, I don't even know what I like anymore. I don't know what my favorite color is anymore. Like, you just completely lose yourself in having children and being married and doing the house and making sure everything's clean and like all those lifestyle things. And I'm like, I'm done. Like, I'm actually done. Shit's got to fall down. I'm going to because without my health, none of that shit matters. Like, the kids aren't going to get looked after because I'm not going to be well. My husband's not going to get looked after because I'm not going to be well. Like, the house isn't going to be clean because I'm not well. Like,
it's actually my number one value is my health and fitness for that exact reason. That's actually ahead of love and connection, which is friends and family. And people go, like, you got that around the wrong way. I said, no, I haven't. Because if I haven't got my health and fitness, I'm no good to anybody laying in a hospital bed. So
exactly.
Well said. Can you share your age with us? Because I think that we talked off camera and just the importance that, you know, when we're in our 20s, just how much easier it is and where you're at now and some of the, I guess, challenges when you are the older, mature age that you are.
So I'm 42. I just turned 42 this year. And I get asked my age a lot because no one actually believes me when I tell them, which is great. Honestly, health and fitness is like the fountain of youth. It is an anti-aging tool. I would say I feel better now at 42 than I did in any of my 20s when I was drinking and partying and doing all that dumb shit. I feel way healthier now.
I've openly spoken about that. Back in my day when I was right into the booze, the rush that you'd receive from that, and people say, oh, you go out, get on the piss, how good you feel. We all know you don't feel that great the next morning. Yeah. But the endorphin rush that I get, belting yourself in exercise, just so far outweighs that. Yeah.
It lasts longer. It lasts longer too.
It does.
Like, it's not well like while you're out drinking, it's not just that night. You feel that freaking good for days on end. Like,
it's addictive.
Yeah, 100%.
So obviously, you know, you've built yourself a great brand. You've obviously had some great achievements. Talk to us about your feelings about the scale. Talk to us about that.
Can I swear?
I mean, I think you already have, but sure.
Have I? I've been trying to tone it down. I've like pulled back a lot of
we can bleep things out.
You've been very mindful. It's been good.
Okay, well, I'll use the bleeped out version because that's what's on my socials anyway. So one of my taglines is F the scales. Fitness is a feeling. So a lot of women in particular get really caught up in scale weight, and I was one of those people, and sometimes I still do. It doesn't go away completely, but I work on it a lot. And the reason why I say that is Ben would have seen the photo that I posted up in his group. 61 kilos I hit stage for the transformation show. I'm 60 kilos now. I do not even look like the same human being. Like, I have much more muscle mass. I have a lot less fat mass, and I look like a completely different human because I spent the time and I just kept going. Even when you have those doubts and those like fears and things like that, just following the plan and listening to that one person was like how we got there. So I'm not a massive fan of scales if you already have that kind of, if they let you if they dictate your mood for the day, you need to step away from them for a bit and focus on other things.
How do you measure muscle mass and body fat?
So I don't do it very often. I don't do it for my clients. I go off of a lot of photos, especially in the industry that I'm in, because most of the time when we're stepping on stage and things like that, it's not about what you weigh. There's no weight classes and things like that in the divisions. It's what you look like. Like, you need to look a certain way. So I work off of photos a lot more than I work off of anything else. So I have a really good picture on my socials. One of my clients, her name's Sarah. She has been on a very long journey with me, and we had to work to get her metabolic rate up higher so that we could diet her, because she was trying to diet on like 1,400 calories and nothing was shifting in it. That's not healthy for anyone. It's not good for your hormones. It's not good for your bones, especially as we get older.
So just share that. What did you get that particular individual to do to increase their metabolism?
So we took a lot of time. So I put her straight into what we call a recovery phase. So put her into a recovery phase where her calories were at what her maintenance calories should be at. So based off of her height, weight, age, and her activity. So everyone, people have sedentary jobs or not. So base it off of that Harris-Benedict formula, and we work it out and go, okay, this is roughly your baseline, what you should be just eating without gaining or losing. You're going to swing up and down a little bit, but like you're going to be kind of be here. And so we put her straight onto that as a recovery diet, or what we call a recovery diet. And then once her body settled and at that calorie range, we then started bumping her calories up very slowly. And so her metabolic rate was able to kind of take more and more and more food. So she gained a little bit of weight in that time.
Did her activity go up whilst you increase the calories?
Yeah, so we made sure that her step count was pretty active, and we made sure her gym sessions were like 4 to 5 days a week.
Okay.
So we tried not to, because obviously that's also a tool that we can use in the fat loss phase to create that bigger deficit. So tried to get her metabolic rate, her body to metabolically accept more calories. So we got her up to, I think it was about 2,000, and then we're like, okay, cool. So we're sitting here at 2,000. You're not really gaining any weight. We've maybe gained 2 kilos over a 6-month period, which is pretty good. Going from 1,400 to 2,000, there's a massive difference. There's about 2 meals. So she was pretty stoked. So then we've gone into a 12-week phase of cutting down. So we haven't gone drastic this time. We're taking it very slowly. And she was getting just like upset the other day because she's like, I've only lost 2 kilos in this 12 weeks. And I'm like, yep, let's have a look at your photos. And it's on my social media. I'll show you afterwards. And I put the photo up on my social media and I said, put it out to everyone. I said, how much weight do you think this person has lost? I had someone tell me she lost 18 kilos. I had someone tell me she's lost 12 kilos. I've had someone ask me if she's lost 7. I've had someone say 10. So it's all like way, way up above what she's actually lost. And I showed her the photos, the before and after photos of it's not even 12 weeks. It's like 8 weeks into this 12-week phase. And I said, this is what people think you've lost based off of these photos. And she's like, yeah, okay, I'm getting it now. Like, so she's lifting heavier. She's lifting more than she's ever lifted. Plus she's just returned from an injury, a back injury as well. So she's lifting more than she ever has, which quite clearly means she's getting stronger, which probably means her muscle mass is going up.
So just on that nutrition bit again, you mentioned the calorie intake.
Yeah.
Do you get deeper into it just as far as protein, carbohydrates,
yes,
fruit and vegetables?
Yep.
What's your take on that?
So I work with my clients to do macronutrient splits. It depends on the client because everyone's very different.
Depends on the goal of your client, whether they want to be putting on or taking off.
Yeah, and it also depends. Females are very one way or the other. So I use myself as an example. The moment that my fats are quite high, I put fat mass on really easy. My body loves carbohydrates. It will suck them in and use them. And I don't put that fat mass on. As soon as my fats start going up, I start putting fat on. Yep. Whereas some of my other girls are better on a higher fat, and that is to do with that energy expenditure. I train like an animal, like probably more than most people train, like as in intensity-wise. I train really hard until my eyeballs are about to pop out of my skull. And so because it's so intense, like my body's burning, that's what it's using for its fuel, right? Whereas people who Sarah's a teacher, so she sits a lot, she doesn't do a lot of stuff. She does do walking, she does swimming for 1 or 2 of her sessions, and then she does 3 to 4 weight sessions a week. but not as intensely as I do. So therefore, her metabolic system is relying on fats and carbohydrates. So she's better on like a more even carbohydrate fat split. I have everyone that I ever know on higher protein, and there's heaps and heaps of research that's come out recently suggesting that women in particular, before they hit perimenopause, is really important to get their protein really high.
100%. Having that exact same conversation with my wife, and as I've gotten older and depending on my training regime, it's definitely had to have a big focus on increasing that protein. The other thing I've become really big on recently is getting my bloods done.
Yeah.
And what are your thoughts around that?
Yeah, I think that if you get your bloods done, it's extremely imperative to get them done by the right people.
Yes.
Because I find this funny. It's not funny, really. I went to my doctor and they're like, "Oh, do you want to test your thyroid function?" Because, and I'm like, not really.
Don't get me started on GP. I go straight to a private clinic and I tick the boxes on what I want done.
Yeah. So
and then I take that to a sports doctor for an analysis.
I don't need my thyroid's done. Why? She's like, "You had really low blood pressure in the nurse's office." I'm like, "You haven't asked what I've eaten today. You haven't asked if I've done any exercise recently. Like, you've asked nothing. You just like pumped me up and went, 'Oh my God, she's low blood pressure.'" I'm like, "Dude, do I look unhealthy to you?" Like,
don't get me started.
It's fine because my family does have thyroid issues, right? But the problem is that my family has thyroid issues by the way of Hashimoto's. Hashimoto's is not picked up by looking at T3 and T4 hormone. Like, you can't tell. So you're doing a shit blood panel. Like, it's not useful to you for what you think I was going through.
So you recommend for your clients to get bloods done?
Yeah, definitely my athletes. So all of my athletes, I recommend bloods. I can't read them yet, something I would like to do. But yeah, go get your bloods done. And there's 2 links that I've had where you can actually order them online yourself.
Yep.
And they're actual sports panels. Yep. So they're from like a sports...
Eye screen?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's one of them.
That's the one that I use.
Yeah, and you go on, you order it, and then you go to a blood place and then get a
the results get emailed to you the next
100%.
day. Awesome.
Amazing. Yeah, 100%.
Because I think nutrition, particularly again as we get a little bit older, is just so underrated. Like
100%.
There's that saying that you can't out-train a bad diet. And so it's
So
really
more.
good to see that you've got a focus. And you've got some nutrition qualifications as well, I
Yes,
believe?
I'm a qualified sports nutritionist. So through the Sports Nutrition Australia, at the moment are the only ones who really offer proper like nutrition coverage as far as like insurance and things like that. So when you're telling athletes to eat certain things, and I'm also just about finished my contest preparation course through Sports Nutrition Australia as well. So very specific course to prepping contest prep clients for stage.
Are you a fan of supplements?
I think supplements have their place. They need to be a supplement, not the answer. So whole foods first. Supplements are exactly what they're named, a supplement.
Yep.
Yeah.
Love it.
So obviously, just to switch gears a little bit, you had obviously a major surgery back in 2021. Mm-hmm. What was one of the biggest I'm assuming you would call that one of your biggest setbacks with your training and all of that sort of stuff. And for anyone who's listening to this podcast, and the purpose of this podcast is to help people think different, be different, and act different.
Yeah.
So on that basis, what would be any mindset tips you'd give to anyone out there listening?
So the first thing is that I didn't look at it as a setback. So I didn't even think of it like that. It's like, this is a really good opportunity for me to become a better lifter.
Let me just stop you there. That is just so well said, because we're talking about mindset.
Yeah.
And your mindset wasn't, oh, hey, this is something that's bad happened, this is a setback.
Yeah.
But straight away your mindset was positive and how I can use this.
How good.
Yeah.
So go on.
That is inspiring.
It's I think that obviously when I was in it, it wasn't all roses and I wasn't always like, oh my God, this is so amazing. It was not like that at all. I definitely had shit days where I'm like, everything's falling down and the house is burning around me. So it's not that it was like always like that, but I've had I think that I'm supposed to be an athlete. Like, I honestly believe that. So I'm supposed to be an athlete. I think I'm very coachable and I'm a good athlete, and I like to grow, because if you're not growing for the rest of your life, what are we doing here? Like,
100%.
so it's like, okay, so this is shit. This is shit. I can't lift 120 kilos off the ground at the moment. Deadlifts are my all-time favorite movement. If someone said to me, you can't do anything else, you have to do one exercise for the rest of your life, I would do deadlifts any day of the week, like 100%. And I'm like, I can't deadlift at the moment. Like, I'm not allowed to. I don't want to damage myself. I want to do this right. So I can't do that. So how do I help myself in this instance? How do I grow from this? I like to think that everything's a learning phase. Like, your life is an entire learning phase, and then you die. So my learning phase is, okay, well, let's step back for a second. I want to be a really good lifter. I want my form to be, I can lift well, but like, I could lift better. Like, everyone could lift better, right? So it's like, okay, well, how do I make this happen? It means I have to peel all my training, pull it right back. So when I have clients who have injuries and things like that, because everyone, like, it psychs people out and they go, I can't go to the gym. I'm like, your foot's broken, not your arm. Like, you have an entire other half of your body you can use.
Quick story here. I
Yeah.
had an ACL reconstruction, and the day after I got out of hospital, I was at home. The day after that, I was at the gym. In crutches doing upper body.
So my athlete that I just showed you before, she went through an ACL reconstruction 8 months ago. Yeah. So same thing for her. It was like, and we worked around it. We're like, okay, cool. Let's program your rehab exercises in there, and then like do your upper body days and work.
It was a mental thing for me that I needed to get back into the gym and do something. And I've got physios now that I've had on the show here to be able to say exactly the same thing.
Yep.
Let's not focus on what you can't do.
Let's focus on what you can.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Correct.
So it's always like, okay, cool. So we can grow from this, right? So it's like, anytime I'm injured, anytime one of my athletes are injured, it's like, this is your chance to fall back in love with that movement. So it's like, you can't shoulder press? Cool. Let's fall back in love with shoulder pressing again, and let's do it right, and let's peel it right back. And we start from, I work very, very closely with physios. I have the utmost respect for physios, and I'll always refer people to physios first so that I can make sure that I'm doing the right thing by the client as well. And I work very closely with the physio myself as well. And it's like, okay, what can we do? If we can't do this, what can we do? Tell me what we can do. Where do we start? How do we start strengthening this? Okay, we got to do, band work. Cool, let's do band work. So we stand there and we will do band work, and we'll talk through, okay, how are we feeling? Like, where does it hurt? Pinpoint, tell me exactly. And I think that peeling it right back and telling people where they're feeling things and what they're feeling and how they're feeling it makes them come back to their bodies. And so they come back into their body, and all of a sudden they're actually paying attention to their insides again. And it's like, oh, that's what that feels like. Like, that's what I'm supposed to be working. That's what's supposed to be contracting, and, and it's like, yeah, now you got it. Now you got it. Like,
absolutely.
And then when they go and shoulder
that?
press, it's like, this feels so different. And I'm like, amazing.
Yeah. But isn't it, like you pointed out, it's getting an understanding that detail of exactly how that particular movement is affecting a particular area, not that, oh, my shoulder's sore.
Yes.
And you're actually getting specific on where exactly is it getting sore. And I think once you're able to understand the mechanics of the human body, it puts more perspective around it.
Yeah. It's so much easier for physios too, because when I go and see my physio, I'm like, this is what's happening, but I actually think it's coming from here because this is why. And she's like, you nailed it. Like, she's like, sure, I don't want to do your physio. I'm like,
I remember last year I went to see my physio, and I'd always experienced a bit of lower back pain.
Mm-hmm.
And as it turns out, it had nothing to do with my lower back was strong, but it was a glute issue.
same. My TFL plays up, so my hip flexes
So
and
I
stuff.
now have to, I do glutes,
Mobility.
and glute strengthening exercises, and agility is a big thing for me because in my opinion, particularly when I get older, strength is a big thing because I'm losing muscle mass.
Yes.
But then I need to still have a focus on endurance and agility, which gives me longevity.
Yeah.
So, like, in terms of your 12-week signature program, like for anyone who's, looking for a trainer or looking to make an impact in their own life, you know, the one that ends with a photo shoot, how would you, for anyone listening, what would be the main benefit of doing that program with you?
So my 12-week signature program is going to be properly released on the 1st of May.
Yep.
So I've got 2 package options for it now. So I understand that obviously like life's hard at the moment for some people, and some people want to work on their health but may not have the money for it. So I have 2 different package options. So the 12-week signature program is about learning. So across the 12 weeks, I don't just train you. You still get a program for the 12 weeks. You still get macros or a meal plan for the 12 weeks. I hate meal plans, just to prefacing that, but I will do them because I understand that people don't understand macros straight away. But it's about learning about your macros. It's about learning about your nutrition. It's about learning about why we move, how we move, all of those things. So it's all those, it's like 7 years of my knowledge tried to jam into 12 weeks, which obviously is impossible because I've been studying for a really long time now, and I constantly study and do meta studies. But it's the important parts and the things that you don't need to know the intricate details, because obviously you don't want to be a personal trainer, but you need to know there are definitely parts of things that we learn that everyone should know about.
So principles. The principles, I look at it from that on a perspective that if you do this, this will be the outcome.
Yes.
And like you point out, you don't need to get into the micro, but understanding the macro of doing this and a certain amount of calories here will do this, and a certain amount of burning over there. So yeah, like I said, I just philosophized into a principle.
Yeah, so it's just like, it's just broken down into very simplistic, like 12 weeks, 12 modules. So one's an ebook that you just buy the ebook, you get the 12 modules, and then you have the option to jump onto my subscription program, which is like really cheap. And then you've got the full package, which is with me, and then you have the choice of doing that photo shoot at the end.
How do you personally balance, obviously, the demands that you are working stupid, you were saying before, I think 70 hours in your job, and then you've got 3 children, you've got a husband, and clearly you're taking care of yourself. What's your advice to any of the mums out there, or dads out there for that matter? What's your tip to be able to balance?
I don't. Like, I don't balance stuff. So I feel like...
Good answer.
So I'm being I'm very truthful. I think that, and I'll take a photo of my house and do a post on this, I think, but like I was at the gym last night at 7:00 because that's when I had to go. Like I had to go because it was my training day, and I know I need to go, and I know I need to do my steps. So it's like my day got messed up because there was a car. I don't know if you guys heard about the crazy shit that happened on the coast yesterday.
I did.
I got
some
stuck.
Stolen car.
And shot someone, and like the car. Anyway, long story short, I got stuck in the traffic for an hour and a half. So that took an hour and a half of my working day out. I had like I had stuff, and I'm like, okay, well, it is what it is, right? So I just have to rearrange my day. So first of all, planning is 100% imperative. I think that's where everyone falls down, is they don't plan their week out. So on Sundays, I sit down and I plan my entire week out. Do I do it exactly how it's planned? No, I do not. I don't.
But you need a plan.
I'm flexible, but I know what I'm doing. So it's like, it's there. The plan's there, the intent's there. I think that's most important. Secondly, I prioritize my health and fitness over everything, as you were saying. It is 100% made me a better wife, a better worker, a better mum. Like, and my kids, my 2 older kids now, 22 and 23. And at the time, I might have had some mum guilt around like going to the gym, but it's like, it's an hour out of my day. Like, I deserve that. And I think that it taught my kids that I'm important, because I think that kids like are quite entitled these days.
But I'll add to that. My son was 2 years old, and I had him at the gym in the pram. And to me, it's monkey see, monkey do. And now he's right into his fitness.
Well, all of my kids, all of my kids eat really well. None of my kids are overweight, and they all exercise. And my youngest is about to step on stage himself. He's 16, and he's about to jump up on stage because he was just inspired. So, and he was a very small, skinny, runty kid, and he got picked on because he's also a redhead. Ben will probably appreciate this. he got picked on so much at school, and he's like, Mum, I want to go to the gym and get big because I'm sick of being picked on. Guess what? He does not get picked on anymore. So, you know, but that was just, and I didn't realize I was doing that at the time. I don't think it just was what it was because I put that at the forefront. But all of my kids know how to eat healthy. All of my kids know what's protein heavy, and do you know what I mean? So they all have those skills now, like into their adult life. So when they go out, they know when they're eating shit and not, and it's a choice, and they know that. And so, you know, I think that I pass a lot of those skills on. But planning, number one thing, plan your freaking week out and just be flexible with it. Yeah. But shit falls down. Like, my house is never clean, ever.
That is completely fine. Just one note on just what you're saying back with your training, and obviously there's a saying, don't underestimate the power of the influence that you set.
Yeah.
So I think as far as children are concerned, I think asking your children to behave healthy and you're not behaving healthy, but setting that example for yourself, and a bit like, well, if dad can do this and mum can do that, gives your kids a much better chance.
It's like that, like you don't realise that you can go out and buy a whole cake from Woolworths and eat it when you turn into an adult kind of situation. And it's like, yeah, but do you? Like, is that the right thing to do? Like, just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Exactly.
So what strategies do you employ, like, just to switch tones again, just to, you know, what strategies do you employ, like, with all this going on, to foster a supportive and empowering environment, environment/community for your clients? How do you do that?
So I'm an oversharer, 100%. Like, my clients will come to me and tell me just about anything. And I was literally talking to my athlete on the weekend, and I said, I probably share way too much and care way too much about most people's lives. I'm very involved with my clients. But I know their family, and I think it's important. And I think it's important because it shows that genuine care. Like, I actually really do care about my clients. Like, I care about how they're going. I care about how their day is. I care when they lose their job. But do you know what I mean? Like, and I think that too many times there's PTs that go out there and they get all these online clients, and it's just client 1, client 2, client 3, client 4, and I don't want that for myself. Like, I have been involved with other PTs before, as in their communities myself. And I've been in those communities, and I don't want to foster the shitting on other PTs culture. Like, I hate that. I don't want to call people out. I hate that. You're creating nastiness, and I don't like that. So I try to be caring but still firm, which is hard. So they know that they can come to me.
Let's reframe the firmness with discipline, because essentially that's what it is. Like, at the end of the day, I think the clients are coming to you. And if we look at this, we touched on off camera, the professionalism of an elite athlete, and they've got their coach. They do exactly what their coach tells them every single day and every single training session. And at the end of the day, I think you're just have an expectation. You believe in your client, you care about your client, and at the end of the day, the client needs to do the work. And I think you being firm is what you're really saying, is that you're just wanting to have your client to be disciplined. Because you know that if they do what you tell them to do, they'll achieve the results that they want.
I always see, this is brings me back. I had a conversation today. I always see greatness in people. I very rarely see, like, my ex is a perfect example. Like, my very first partner, like, I saw something amazing in him, and I kept trying to pull that forward, and that's what I see in others. But I need to learn my boundaries in that too, and go, okay, well, I can do this much. It's not my responsibility to do it all. So that's the hardest part. But I think that because I care so much, I think that that's what builds that culture for my team, is that they know that. So, for example, my athlete who's in prep at the moment, she's absolutely crazy, and she does downhill mountain bike riding as well. And she went face first into a rock. She went out, had a pastry, which is completely off plan, right? We're not eating pastries at this point. And I'm like, dude, and she messaged me and she goes, just so you know, this is what happened. And she did not have a problem telling me. at all, because she knew that I would be like, okay, let's not do that again. And this is the reason why. I think I just like to bring people back to reality. So the caring part of it, but being like, you can do that, but then you're not going to get here. And you told me this is what you want.
So back on mindset for a minute, you explain that the mindset that you need to achieve that initial goal. What's your mindset for longevity? Because I'm a big fan of longevity, and obviously with your age and what your plan is for the future, is there a different mindset that you think we need to adopt to have a long-term plan for our health and fitness, not just the short-term plan? I think is great, and I'm personally not a fan of some challenges, with the exception of, I think the challenges can be a great way of getting people to develop habits.
Or start.
Yep. And then after that, being able to continue that through, and it's a lifestyle.
Yeah. So which is why I changed my 12-week program to 12-week signature program, not a 12-week challenge, because I don't like challenges personally either. So I do have a 21-day challenge, but most people who do the 21-day challenge roll into that 12-week signature, and then they roll into just staying with me, because it's like, okay, I can start seeing we've got to have that thing to get people through the door, right? So I'm not a fan of challenges at all. So when people come to me, they think they've got to train 5 days a week, get their macros perfect, and then they try and stack all this crap on themselves when they're not doing anything. So they've gone from nothing to everything. They fail in 2 weeks, and then they quit. And it's like, okay, I don't want you to do that. And they're like, what? What do you mean? And I said, tell me how many days a week can you 100% commit to for your training? You tell me. And they're like, 2? I'm like, okay, cool. Let's do 2 days a week. And they're like, what? And I'm like, well, if you can't commit to more than that, why would I give you 4 days a week, make you fail, and you just quit? Like, I'd rather you do 2 days a week for the rest of your life than to do 4 days. 4 days a week for 3 weeks and then leave. It makes no sense. Like, why would we do this? Whatever you're doing, if you look at your diet and you go, I want to stab myself in the eyeball, stop doing it. Just stop. Like, you don't have to eat like that. It is not a who can diet the most contest. Learn about your food and then live well. Like, and think about it instead of like, I could rant on about this for hours.
Just in terms of sustainability, because I can tell that's where you're both going. And you both, to be honest, you both live you both live what you're preaching, which is great. I guess my question is, someone is looking to, I know I'm jumping around a little bit here, but I think it's a really good point to jump on the back of.
Yep.
You're looking to transition from a traditional job. So someone who's listening to this, they want to transition from a traditional job to maybe build their own brand or do something, or they want to fly helicopters or whatever it may be. How would you encourage them to do that?
Okay, so I put up a really good quote this morning, and it's like, you can wait for the right time and look back in 5 years and be in the same place, or you can just start doing it right now.
Well said.
Yeah, the end.
It's such an interesting point, because the action component is what matters.
Yeah.
It again, come back, you can go and sign up to the gym, you can go and sign up with you, but if you're not prepared to do the work, and there's never ever going to be a convenient time.
I said to someone the other day, I'm like, when in your life have you had 12 weeks when nothing in your life has gone wrong? Please tell me. And they're like, and I'm like,
point made.
I remember another good quote was, you got to turn your should have into a must have, because everybody goes, I should go to the gym. But as soon as you can shift that from, I should do that, or I must do that.
Yeah.
And that leads me to the next point. When you mentioned mindset, I know that you refer to yourself as an athlete. Mm-hmm. I've heard this used by a number of people as well, and I tend to do it as well. I just, in my own mind, I call myself an athlete. Mm-hmm. And when I refer to myself as an athlete, would an athlete eat that? Would an athlete do that? Mm-hmm. And when I've got that as a bit of my own personal mindset, just makes it easy for me, because that's just who I am.
Yeah.
Last question on that. What's your relationship and thoughts around alcohol?
I don't drink anymore, or very, very rarely drink. It wasn't intentional by any means. My personal view on it is it just is poison, like for my body. I don't like the way I feel when I drink it. I don't like how I train the next day after I've had some. And then obviously I've done the research around like your body basically stops doing everything to try and burn it out of your system, and people are drinking and wondering why they can't lose weight. Well, I'm like, there's your answer. But yes, the inflammation factor, gut, organs, everything, it's just not worth for me personally, it's just not worth it. Yeah. And if I do have a drink, then I don't beat myself up because I very rarely drink. Yeah. So
I'm exactly the same. And as part of the M26 Fit brand, we're actually doing, myself and 20 other blokes, we're doing a dry 25. Nice. So no alcohol at all for the entire year. Not that big of a deal. Like last year, I think I might have had 6 drinks all year, which was only one ever at a time. And I'm similar to yourself. It just wasn't giving me what it used to give me. Now that I've found something else that's got much more longevity associated with it. But I'm really pleased that you are thinking along the same lines. Looking ahead, where's Kelly in the next 5 to 10? Where's your brand? Any aspirations?
Yeah, so I've got an app. I've got 2 different versions. I have a full coaching version and a subscription version. Long story short, I am trying to get my message out to millions. Like, I'm not thinking small here. I'm thinking like I want to be known.
I love it.
For being that. And secondary to that, I also, when you talk to people and they go, you know, who are your top 5 go-to prep coaches in the country, they're dudes. They're all guys. They're great. Don't get me wrong. They're amazing. But I want to be in that top 5 as a female coach. So that's my big goal. And I've just put it out on a freaking podcast. So there you go. That first heard here.
No, that is fantastic. Well, as you know, what's one of the big things with a goal that I think that is completely and utterly awesome. Now, before we get into the quickfire questions, what haven't we spoken about yet that we should have spoken about?
I think we've hit
we
everything.
Could go down a lot of rabbit holes. So
I think we've hit everything today. I think we've covered, you know, daily behaviours, motivation, business. I think we've done it well.
Fantastic. Quickfire questions. Are you ready?
Not really, but let's go.
Morning routine.
I wake up to my alarm. I almost eat immediately because I'm always hungry in the morning. And I usually eat at work, and I have a coffee in silence. So I eat my breakfast and my coffee in silence.
Favourite workout move?
Deadlifts.
That's amazing. You're the first person that's ever said that that's their favourite
And
move.
I have bulging discs in my spine, if anyone's wondering.
Love it. Go-to motivational quote.
On the back of my shirt, earned, not given.
One word that describes your coaching style.
Fun.
Most memorable client transformation.
Oh, God, that's mean.
Memorable. Means you've got to remember it.
I know, but they're also... Okay, I'm going to use my current athlete, Cassie, went from really overweight. I've been working with her 4 years. Really overweight, is now going to compete, and told me she never wanted to compete in her life.
Top book recommendation for mindset.
Oh, easy. Atomic Habits.
Favourite healthy snack.
At the moment, it changes, just to be clear. But at the moment, rice cakes with cottage cheese, if you're able to get some, tomato and salt.
Music genre for workouts. Favourite.
Depends on the day. Leg day, heavy, hardcore, like Linkin Park stuff. Upper body, usually R&B.
The biggest pet peeve in the fitness industry for you?
Liars.
Your dream collaboration?
Yeah, I read that one and I actually don't have a good answer.
That is okay. What's an essential item in your gym bag?
Ooh, figure 8 straps.
Your personal mantra?
Just do the stuff.
Last question. What's the most valuable advice you could give to anyone wanting to start their own business, become a founder?
Get out of your own way.
Well said.
Well said.
Great chat, Kelly.
Thanks.
Wish you all the best. Love your energy.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on the show. Cheers.
Welcome.